Welcome back to Limbus Company, Daily Mirror Dungeon. We're gonna be trying the actual mid-chapter dungeon once again, and that's because quite a few guys reminded me that there's a very obvious solution. I guess it's not the most obvious, but there was a very crucial thing I was completely forgetting about. Sure. So, yeah, that'll work. And that being, I'm starting with the lithograph too, because that's just gonna help a lot. Bleed isn't that big of an issue because her passive exists. If you have 3 insight, you remove 1 negative status effect applied to self. And 1 negative status effect means effectively just remove all of bleed, for example, if we have bleed. So, I've got support units again. And we're gonna try it. The main thing is it requires insight 3, which isn't always the easiest thing to get. We may need to reset until we have it a couple of these times. For example, this turn, we have a skill 3, but we can't get insight 3 because we've got no way of discarding it. We either need her skill 3 to roll into the top slot. Oh, actually, we also need to have Gloom in the first place to trigger the passive. It's a 3 Gloom owned, so... Just gotta block this turn, I guess. Oh, that's kind of awful, but, what was I saying? Yeah, so either we need the skill 3 in the top slot, because then we can block and discard it through that method, or we need to have the skill 3 in the bottom slot and a skill 2 in the top slot. Those are the only ways we can actually get to Insight 3 immediately. So not exactly the easiest, that's for sure. Speaking of not exactly the easiest, we're going to be taking a lot of bleed here. Although, if we can manage to purge the bleed by getting to Insight 3, we might end up being fine. Although, we'll have to see. We have to get lucky enough to actually draw a skill 3. And at that point, there's a decent chance we're doomed by that point, right? We also have not gotten a skill 3 yet. Yeah, I'm gonna restart this attempt. Even though we weren't doomed yet. It was just a lot of bleed stuff. I'd really like to reset until I have insight at least, turn 1, maybe turn 2, right? And I mean, that's gonna be the basic thing for every fight here. It means this may be a bit of a less interesting episode simply because there's probably gonna be a lot of resetting needed to be done. Like, this turn does not look very promising. Although they're not going for a lot of attacks on us, so we shouldn't take too much bleed, right? Are you doing the bleed count? No, none of them actually did bleed count that turn. Oh, you might? No. Most of their bleed count is Clash Win, right? Something like that. Okay, but here we go. The issue is going to be maintaining it. This will discard 1 skill, those rings on these skills, so we gotta do something like this, right? Although then we don't get enough. No, we do this. Yeah, this works. Oh no, it doesn't, because we're not actually going to be able to trigger it because it's not for that set. We have to do this, and we have to pray. That's what it comes down to. Luckily, we do run out of bleed there, so it doesn't stack up as much, although we get staggered, yeah. Not great. But you can see how things almost lined up there. We just need to get a lucky first turn, and we need to get quite a few lucky first turns. Especially since we're going to have to do 5 fights. That's alright. Not really a faster way, though. And this way, we don't have to deal with it. Actually, probably should take this pack, because pack of 2 they are probably much easier. Are they? I'd assume so. That might be a death trap, though. I need to think about that a little bit more. I haven't thought of going for the pack of 2. Jun, obviously, would be a horrible idea, and I do not plan to go for him anytime soon. That's unfortunate. Or we could do this, though. If we're willing to take the Hopeless here... Clash Win and inflict 1 protection next turn? You give your target protection... Have I never looked at this skill before? Why do you give your target protection next turn? I mean, I'll take it. And they need to win the Clash. Alright, I'm fine throwing this Clash then, if it means we get protection next turn. That's a nice little effect. Okay, no, it's... Why did it say inflict if it's to self? Then it should say gain 1 protection, right? I don't think I'm insane for that, surely not. Oh well. It doesn't matter that much, I don't think. Just a minor little wording error, I guess. Well, we do this and we need more Gloom. I mean, we kind of just got to do this anyways, though, right? Because we'll discard it. We need to at least get 1 Gloom this turn, right? So we can feel like we're doing something. It's not going to get used, though. Yeah, never mind. We're just going to use these weighted knowledge. We'll discard a skill 3, which is nice. But we do need to turn that off, yeah. We'll get 20% shield thanks to discarding it, which should help a lot. Now we just need to get the passive going, which is not going to take too long. Although we do just get staggered here, yep. Okay. Well, keel over, we keep going like this. Do you understand? I understand, Ishmael. It's just a little bit hard to get things to go exactly as I'd like, right? That was actually looking pretty nice. They were doing a lot of the defenses turn 2, which is just super good to see in general. Like, this is a pretty solid start, yeah, definitely. Because we do this, and we start with 3 insight immediately. The issue then is we're going to need to not use a skill 2 or at all. Otherwise, our insight changes. But we can just spam skill 1s and get away with it. Although we probably want to spam guards if possible. Oh yeah, we can. Alright, we'll do this. Oh no, then that's bad too, though. Right, we can't do that. We have to do this, and we're going to take a lot of bleed. But that's fine, right? Is it fine? I don't know if it is fine. That's like a lot of bleed damage. We'll get staggered. And we're not getting any shield this turn. Yeah. But if we do this, we'll ruin our insight because we'll discard stuff. I think this attempt is, you know, not going to work. Yeah. Also, paralysis next turn is really rude because, paralysis is really rude because that means there's a 50% chance even when we do trigger the passive, it goes for paralysis instead, I'd presume. So we need to avoid that. The first fight's going to be the hardest one. After this fight, we'll have enough gloom and we'll be set on that front, right? So we'll just need to focus on the Insight 3 instead of having to manage the Insight 3 and the thing. Sure, we'll do that. Might as well get some bleed. Some bleed count is rude. I like it when they don't go for the bleed count stuff immediately. That makes it a little safer to go for actual attacks in combination with everything else. Okay. This doesn't work, no, because this discards... This discards highest rank. I forgot about that. I keep on thinking it's lowest rank, and I think I probably threw at least once more than I needed to because of that, if I had to guess. This discards that, but then that'll discard... No, wait, this works, actually. Because if I'm thinking this right, this will go first because it's your 4 speed, this doesn't trigger count speed. So then you'll discard lowest rank, so you'll discard the skill too, get some shield in the process. And then you'll be able to block this later on when this guy goes, and then you'll actually discard the skill 3 and get just the 3 insight. We won't have enough gloom then, though, still, but... It'll be nice for the discard, right? Yeah, that's not good. A lot of bleed already. Yeah. This gave us 2 insight, and we just bled out. Oh no, whoops. That was a bit of a panic alt 4, because I remembered, I don't want to have to re-roll for... Because the thing is, if I lose that, and I don't exit out in time... I don't know if this will actually work, but if I don't exit out in time, I'll have to restart the run entirely if I want Dieci Rodion back, which is rude because, well, I'd have to re-roll for Lithograph again. And Lithograph will be insanely useful if we make it past this first little bit. Am I doomed, though? Did I Alt F4 in time? I don't know. I don't Alt F4 usually. I don't reset usually. Okay, but it looks like she's alive, so that's good. Well, we continue our attempts. It may be a single floor dungeon, but this seems like it may be a bit of a longer episode, depending on how this first fight goes, right? Well, not a great first turn. Yeah, bleed count is rough. It's that one attack that inflicts bleed count. Otherwise, I think they inflict bleed count with like flashpoint and stuff. Maybe I should have re-rolled for Zippo later instead. Maybe that would have been the smarter move. We can do this though. No, we can't. We won't discard if we do that. We do have a skill 2 though. So if we do it like this, we will get to 3 insight. But once again, we'll get to 3 insight. We won't have enough gloom. If only you were actually going for an attack, then this would be work wonders for us. Oh well. I think I do just need to reset for like the turn 1 skill 3 and top slot. And then just be able to spam Gloom, hopefully. I might just do that for a couple of attempts, right? Just see how much mileage we can get out of it. I guess in the meantime, updates coming today. Not much is happening, it's just bug fixes and stuff, right? But still nice. Next week we'll probably get something notable. Oh, here we go. This is nice. We can't discard with this. That's unfortunate. That's real unfortunate. We can try sending if we want to. Sure thing. Because we'll have a skill 3 next turn, at least. And they're not going for a lot of attacks, so we don't have a lot of bleed right now. So that's good. Also, the skill 1 does reduce our stagger threshold, so that's also really nice. And then if I do something like... we can't get enough Gloom in time here. Yeah. Discard that, meh. Let me just do this instead, right? Yeah, that'll work. And we've got decent-ish speed, so we should be able to get rid of all the bleed, hopefully, soonish. Actually, what's better here? This is probably better, all things considered, right? Yeah, I think so. Simply because we'll discard more stuff, technically, and therefore get more shield, right? More shield means more protection from that stuff. And Weight Knowledge also does more damage because we're not quite at 3 insight yet, but now we'll be at 3 insight. So now we just got to maintain the insight. We don't have too much bleed right now. No staggers yet, which is unfortunate. The healing could have been nice. Yeah, we trigger the passive, and then... should be good, yeah, we just get spam skill 1s at this point. Although spamming skill 1s does have a notable issue. That being that it doesn't discard anything, so we don't get any shield. And we'll need to tank some stuff this turn. Here's those speed values. Okay, let's see if we can... let's think this through a little bit. That's why I like Dieci and Rodion. There's a lot of thinking that you can do. So, we do have another skill 3 that we could discard here, right? So if we did something like this, that could work. Although this will go last, so it won't matter in time. So I want to see, is there a way we can... if we do this, it'll discard that, right? So we can't do it like that. If we did it like this, it would go far too late to be beneficial much at all. We're just flashing anyways like this, yeah. I think if we just send this and hope we're fine, we might be able to get some staggers off or something. This attack goes first, which is rude. Get some bleed count going, which is not nice. Probably we get to go first because of the speed die, but... okay, that's good. So we're out of bleed now. We might be able to get some staggers or something, especially with the 3 insight. Oh, we do move our stagger resist down. That's right. That is super big for us. And there's a stagger for lithograph. This will also be a stagger for lithograph. Okay, I think this might be the successful attempt. Just gotta spam skill 1s. Oh, paralysis. That might be bad. Because it'll purge. So, yeah, this passive's active now. So if we have 3 insight at the end of the turn, we'll remove 1 negative status effect. So we'll remove one of these 2. Okay. Another turn where I'm gonna need to think a little bit. Something like that could work. Is there a smarter way to do this, though? Once again, gonna try and think this through a little bit. I mean, yeah, if we do this, that's actually pretty smart, right? Because thinking it through, like, this will discard one of those, this will start... okay, yeah. I like that. Get a lot of shield this way, and I mean a lot of shield, just discarding a bunch of those. And I guess there's some passives also helping us that I haven't thought of too much. But I think, I think Dieci and Ryoshu is giving us additional shield when we discard, right? I think so. Which is a very strong effect. And we're healing up thanks to that. Excellent stuff. And we should be set now. Even if we don't maintain the insight, we do no longer have bleed or anything, so we should be fine. Oh, is yours a resonance? Oh no, it's sloth-owned. Okay. So we actually need to trigger this at some point. I might try to do that then, a little bit. Because can we clash everything here? Not everything, but almost everything. That's the only thing we can't. Well, I guess I could Rhyme Shank if I want to hit that guy, but it won't make that big of a difference. I don't think. Our insight's going to get messed up, that's fine, but there's not a lot of bleed here. This will do a bit of damage to us, but we should just be fine full sending it like this. I want to build up some sloth now, this fight. Although I guess I could have, like, defended or something, not gone for attacks that I don't need to go for, right? Might not build up a lot of sloth then, but that's fine. In time, we'll get that sloth. It's not the most important thing, it's just more shield, which is nice. I didn't read how much more shield it is, and I don't remember off the top of my head, so... It might not even be that worthwhile, who knows. Okay, that guy survives, but dies to this, and then this guy's the only one left. A little bit of damage to us, not much, though. And we'll excruciating study, and kill you with that, probably, hopefully. But yeah, so Yisong's ally with the highest speed discards a skill, gain 5% of discarded skill rank as the max HP is shield 2 times per turn. Yeah, I mean, that's a super good passive to get, if we can, so I'm going to stall a little bit here. Okay, you survived this turn, that's good. We'll block a bunch of random stuff. We get some bleed in the process, but it's not going to matter. We should be able to use another skill 3 next turn, and he'll die from that, of course, but that's fine. This is 3 sloth, which is a good start. Okay, only took us 16 minutes, but we finally managed to beat the first fight. It'll go a lot faster from here on out, though, because we've got the gloom. Just gotta keep in mind if we do end up using a rhyme shank for some reason, to not let our gloom go below 3. For the sake of survival. Yeah, continue the path as expected. Should be good. Once again, I should think back to... I was mentioned it before, but I need to think back to whether or not Pega Tule are a smart choice. I think I need to see how easy some of these fights are going to be first, right? Okay, this isn't the great turn, but we can get some shield going. We probably won't take too much damage. I'd like to get that 3 insight, but we might just need to do that next turn. Hope you'll be able to. I will probably, at the shop in the end of the floor, do a skill 2 to skill 3s, maybe? I'm trying to think what the best play on that front is. But yeah, we didn't take any damage at turn beyond, taking a lot of bleed. Okay, this is fine. It's fine, yeah. We get rid of the bleed, we'll be able to do some stuff here. Not much. The blocks could have been nice too, but I'd rather win the clashes, This guy might stagger. No, not quite enough. We'll remove our stagger bar back, at least. Some blunt damage at this turn? Okay. This goes the lowest rank, so we do this. I think if we do this, that's good. This will go first, assumably. It'll discard that and that. And yeah, we'll be at 3 insight, we'll have nothing else to discard. And we'll be able to get the 1 sloth we need in the process, so that's really good. So now Yisong's passive will be triggered, so whenever we discard, we'll just get even more shield, which is really nice. I think I kind of slandered on Dieci Rodion a fair bit once Dieci Honglu was added to the game, but that's just because Dieci Rodion really needs to be solo to really shine, right? And I kind of forgot about that. There's a reason why she was my favorite ID until Dieci Honglu released. Dieci Honglu just has the advantage of working really well even if he's not a part of a team. But look at that, we just purged all that bleed on self without having to take the damage. Like, that's so good. And we can just spam the Illuminate Thy Vacuities. We don't get any shield, but that's fine. Fine. Do we want to be funny? Oh, wait, we don't have the sloth? Oh, that's right. I forgot. We don't carry over all resources in this dungeon. That's not great. Well, you can always just do this. Just stick to top row, do something like this, build up some sloth. There's nothing to discard, so we'll be fine there. We won't gain shield because of that, but we'll be able to use stronger skills. Which is always a nice effect. Yeah, you die. Let me get a little more sloth. We still want to build up a lot of sloth then, even though the resources get halved each time. We want to make sure we probably want to really try and see if we can get 8 sloth by the time we get to, like, the final-ish fight. Then I suppose. Because if we can start with that passive against him, we might stand a chance. Keyword being might. Well, I think we've won at this point. I'm not too concerned. We just do this then. Kill you with the weight of knowledge, kill the other person with the sloth skill. And of course, because we'll need to make sure that we end every fight with 6 gloom, but that should be fairly easy to do. Make sure we can... And I mean, it doesn't matter necessarily to have it for the passive active immediately, because we kind of need to have the Insight 3 for that part to matter. Oh, this is more resources, though. That's good. We'll get the Black Ledger. Actually, assuming we can pass this. I don't even know if we can, especially since our one high sandy person just did that. 50-50s, anyone? Some 50-50s. Mutilate 50-50. You've got a 50. Actually, you've got better than 50-50. So why should I risk the 50-50? You just need one heads. And there we go. So now we just gain random ego resource equal to the number of enemies. Could help if we get some sloth or some other stuff. I think we've got some other passive that kind of rely on other sin affinities we don't have. And I was just like, yeah, those seem like they could be good. Oh, I don't need to do that. Like, your passive, if we have 5 lust, we get healing on kill. It's a nice little effect. Yours, I think, is gluttony, right? Yeah. And the highest aggro heals HP every time they hit an enemy that targets unit. Really good passive. We do not have the resources, though, that's for sure. Maybe if we're lucky, we can get, like, Grand Welcome in the shot or something, right? Okay. You feeling one of these, maybe? Eh. Feeling one of these, potentially. I'm kind of feeling one of those, yeah. Should be good. Once again, we'll probably draw skill 3 and probably be fine at that point next turn, although we'll have to see. Yeah, a little bit of bleed. We should be fine, but always a little scary. This never works. I'll do that then. Okay, looks good. Yeah, we're a little close to staggering right now, which is scary. Okay, that's a restart. Simple as that. Don't want to let her die. Don't want to let her close to die. If it happens to get to the defeat screen, I didn't exit out in time. I will just Alt F4 again. I now know that is a safe strategy. I've never tried it before, funnily enough. I don't think. Maybe once or something. I don't know. Okay. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, that's just like the perfect starting hand. Alright. Immediate 3 insight. Don't mind if I do. And we also get a fair bit of shield thanks to discarding to skill 3, so these attacks shouldn't do too much to us, although they do bleed. But we have the 3 insight, so any bleed you inflict doesn't matter, because we're just going to purge it all at the end of this turn. Even if you get a bunch of bleed count or whatever. Yeah, 24 bleed 4 count, that would be scary, but purge it all. And because the paralysis is next turn, it didn't matter. That's right. I was worrying about the paralysis, but paralysis happens next turn start. It doesn't count a debuff we had the turn, but the passive actually triggers, because it's at the end of that turn. We were fine there. It says we're hopeless, but we are far from hopeless. Do I want... No, I don't. I was gonna say do I want shield, but then I remembered that would ruin our insight, so I don't want shield. That's fine, though. The skill 1s will reduce our, stagger resist bar, so even if we take a lot of damage here, we should be fine. And even if we take a lot of bleed here, we'll purge it all. Yeah, look at that. There was so much bleed, and it's all just gone. Like that. Oh, this is an unfortunate turn. Actually, no, it's not. We just do this. I keep on forgetting that's also an option. Probably could have done something like that last turn, maybe, if I wanted to, but yeah, this works. Like, we're still perfectly fine. If there's nothing to discard, like, we can't change our insight value. And if things are set to defensive skills, it can't be discarded. Oh, that guy's trying to dodge, the fool. Clueless he is. I'd still like to be able to discard things a little more often, though, because my HP is getting a little dicey. Not like a lot, don't get me wrong. I just don't like being that far down. But we get the 5 blunt damage up this turn. Okay. We should be good for a little bit of this, though. Yeah, seems nice. Discard that skill 3 once again. Get a bunch of shield. Once it goes through, there it goes. Because we've got enough envy, we're triggering Heathcliff's passive for that nice 10% blunt damage up. On top of the 50% blunt damage up we got anyways from the passive. And luckily, because Rodion's got pretty good speed, we're usually outspeeding the enemies, which means by the time they inflict bleed on us, we've already gone through all of our attacks. No, I meant to do this, I think. Right. Like that? Yeah, we don't need to maintain the sloth now, but I'm doing it out of habit. Just to make sure we don't take too much damage here. We get a lot of shield, that sort of thing. We'll get some staggers so we get some healing going once again. It means we might be really close to the stagger bar next fight, though, which is a little scary. Actually, not really. We're not staggering a lot of these guys. We might be under stagger by our next fight, which would be pretty convenient. Yeah, looks like it. I don't think we've got any sort of healing beyond that lithograph. Or like something like Chef Ryoshu's passive, which isn't active now anyways. Yeah, I'll probably go for the normal fight after this, though. And then we should be fine. We'll be able to get caught. We'll at least be able to heal at the shop if nothing else. I'd like to get something else, but it's fine if that isn't the case. Oh, and another perfect hand. Sure thing. If you're going to be so kind to me, how could I deny? But we actually did get a bunch of healing from something. I don't think we were that high when that previous fight ended, but I might just be wrong. Don't know what would healed us, though. Who can say? We'll keep it up. Land some of these Illuminate Thy Vacuities to reduce our stagger resist a decent bit. It's 10 each time, which is pretty solid, and also the stagger is super nice. Just kind of removing that guy from being a potential problem next turn, while getting a little bit of healing. Oh no, so much bleed. What are we gonna do? Fool. 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 Truly foolish. Yeah, we get so much shield this turn that we're doing perfectly fine. And we're just demolishing these vagrants. What does vagrant mean? Is it, it's like a... What, like a... Is it like a wanderer or like a thief or something? I think so. I don't remember what vagrant means off the top of my head, believe it or not, you know. I'm sure I'm sure you guys are like, oh wow, you kind of seem like the guy to know what vagrant means off the top of my head, but I just don't, I guess. Sorry to break it to you. We'll discard that. It's paralysis, so we're gonna be fine here, even if it tells us we're not gonna be. That was actually a little close, but we're fine. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to fear. Also kill these guys, nice. Kill that guy too. And kill that guy too. Take a little bit of damage, but not much, and then the bleed's gone once again. Like, these guys they're fighting like a hopeless battle. Or, like, what are they gonna do? Nothing, that's what. Unfortunate that that's gonna happen. Oh no, it doesn't have to happen though. What am I saying? I could just do this. And it makes a very minor difference, but it matters to me. So I really just want to beat this guy's head in. Yeah, killer. Killer. And there's the stagger, so we're almost full HP again. Let's go for the normal fight. We've been kind of lucky with these first hands we've been getting, not needing to reset in a bit. And hopefully it'll stay like that. I haven't really thought about the Kim fight too much, and I'm really hoping we'll be fine. He does resist blunt, if I'm not mistaken. So that might be a little rough. It's all going to be about surviving that first claim of their bones, though. I think that's what it's going to boil down to. Unfortunately, this would have been a good turn. That's fine. We'll take some bleed. It might be a little bit of an iffy turn. Maybe I should just reset, then, if it is going to be an iffy turn. Yeah. We'll just give up and restart immediately. I don't think we need to immediately get, like, a good turn one. Like, I don't think it's necessary, but I'd like to have high HP going into the next fight, so that I could potentially not need to spend my cost on healing. Because that would be a really nice effect. I also should probably try building up sloth or something in this fight. We're going to be fine on Gloom no matter what. Well, I'd like to get more of, just so we can shield against him as much as possible. Also, the Pride Resistance Rodion has is super good. If we ego, that will change, so need to be a little wary. A little bit of bleed count is rough. It'll stop you from inflicting bleed, though, with this. Okay, sure. We'll see how this looks. It might not be the best first turn, but we do get the stagger for some healing. But we get some potency and some count this turn, so we may take a fair bit of bleed damage. Yeah, don't like that too much. That's like 100 HP worth of bleed. We'll see how this turn goes, though. No need to throw in the towel just yet. I just gotta have like my hand on the spacebar. If things get a little too dicey, I can just pause and then we'll be fine. Okay. So, I'm kind of curious. I think I've noticed that happen earlier, but if you bring your stagger bar down and it reaches your current HP, do you get staggered? Is that what's been going on a couple times? I've noticed she's getting staggered from seemingly nothing, and I think it's because her stagger bar is being brought down to her current HP when she's bleeding. Right? Is that what's happening? I can't tell for sure. That's what it seems like it's happening. And if so, that's kind of insane. Very funny interaction. Because it already is a funny interaction that bleed doesn't stagger you when something like burn does. And it's an interaction I'm absolutely fine with because it helps a lot. Okay, a little bit of bleed. Don't want to let a bleed count turn go through if we're not going to get the insight. Yeah, this was a bit of a reset. Reset Randall, as they say. Reset Randy. I may be a bit of a reset Randy. Apologies for that, but it'll work in the end. I just got so used to that like perfect turn 2 fights in a row, that perfect first turn 2 fights in a row, that I just want to reclaim that high once again. If that makes sense. I think it does. I'd say it does. Nope, not worth it. Oh yeah, today is the 7th day of the anniversary event, so you get the funny banner. I've got that. You probably saw it at some point in the bottom left when I was like relaunching the game or something, and I just forgot to mention it. But yeah, pretty cool. In a week's time from now, we'll have the funny Angela announcer. It'll also be a day when we get another banner. Who knows what that'll end up being. Am I willing to try that out? No, you're going for bleed count. Whenever you see that, like, Wrath, I think it's a skill 3. I didn't see for sure, but whenever you see a Wrath skill 3 from an enemy, that's when you know, it's just going to be the one that inflicts 4 bleed count. And I think it's a little bit more bleed count, because I think they've got the passive that makes it, like, increases their bleed count or something. That might just be on Clash Win, though. I might be insane, but yeah, this skill. Okay, yeah, you don't have any bleeds. Some of these guys have bleed count passives. I don't know if any of these ones do. That's the Sanity Dab, yeah. That's Potency. It's one of the other ones that has the count, I think. But yeah, that skill, that's a no-no. I'm fine with bleed as long as we don't take any count first turn, right? Because it'll just be like a flat 30 damage or something next turn, which is still rough, but it's a lot better than like a flat 30 damage 5 times next turn that we can't do anything about. We're just not starting with skill 3s. It's been a while since we've actually even started with a skill 3. I guess my luck really is turning around after that really nice previous 2 fights. Just starting with the skill 2, skill 3 combo. We're gonna get a skill 3 now, and it's gonna be in the bottom slot, and the top slot's gonna be a skill 1, and you know it's gonna happen just because I jinxed it. No, still no skill 3. That's interesting. It is changing between times, of course. Like, it's not that it's, like, preset RNG or anything like that. Because it is changing between runs. And unless there's some secret thing going on behind the scenes in this dungeon alone, yeah. So close to greatness, but so far. Unfortunately, our skill 1 doesn't discard, but it's also very fortunate sometimes. I mean, it's kind of a pure negative that it doesn't discard, because you could just go for like a full top row, like block entire bottom row if you don't want to discard anything in a turn. That's fine. Okay, that again. That's rude. I should probably, like, I've stopped looking at the enemy skills now. That could have been, like, the perfect, like, fight, and I just wasn't realizing it because I just saw, oh, not a good dashboard. Time to reset. I do apologize for the fewer amount of resets, but as I frequently say, sometimes needs must. It's, you know, a funny quote. I should probably start looking at enemies, though. If there's no Wrath skill, I should probably give it another shot. No scary Wrath skill, that is. I think there's a non-scary Wrath skill, but, like, yeah, this is the non-scary Wrath skill. And this is the scary Wrath skill. So it's the female ones are the ones that have the scary Wrath skill 3. And I think that's the only thing these guys have that inflicts bleed count. Oh no, this is a bleed count too. The female ones in general just are the ones that the tired Kurokumo henchmen, as opposed to the tense ones. The tense ones aren't that big of a deal. They've got bleed count on this slice, but they don't seem to use that too frequently. I don't think. If this takes too long, I will just, you know, cut the recording and just go until I get a good first turn. But I'm feeling stubborn. And maybe, you know, my banter is still entertaining enough. Maybe. The actual gameplay is not very interesting of just resetting, 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 resetting. And I could just cut this out in post. Who knows? Maybe you won't hear this in post. Maybe I will just cut this out so that you don't have to hear my insane ramblings. But it's hard to say. Okay, we get a skill 3 next turn, and you guys aren't going through anything too scary. I mean, that's a little bit. That's 5 bleed. Yeah, that's a little scary. We can give it a shot, though, right? Like, we just go for, like, this. And hope next turn we get something decent enough. Yeah, sure, why not? If we get a stagger here, we get some healing. Maybe we'll be fine. I think we take a fair bit of bleed count, though, just because these guys are rude. Maybe it'll be fine. Yeah, that's not too bad. Oh, this isn't good, though. Yeah, that's not great. Don't actually have a way of getting to 3 insight. That's fine. Should have gone for the skill 1 first turn, but then we might not have won the clash. So that's why I went for the skill 2 instead. And I'd like to win the clash, just for increased survivability chances, reduce the amount of bleed we take, that sort of deal. Three bleed count, 3 bleed count. Bleed count. Yeah, there's a high chance I've cut this out at this point. Actually, I don't know. I like barely edit these. Usually my editing just consists of, you know, the fade in at the beginning, the fade out at the end, the outro, and like the question of the day. Maybe this will be the first time that I actually edit. Scary concept. Although I think it makes enough sense that I don't edit it too much. So it's like a daily thing. It's supposed to be, you know, unedited. It's just, you know, it's just how it goes. If I cut out the boring parts, then you wouldn't be suffering alongside me, right? And that's, you know, the suffering is kind of crucial. Okay, we'll try this. We'll be guaranteed to do well next turn, I think. But we've got a lot of bleed count this turn, that's for sure. Maybe we'll be fine. Oh, we might be fine. No. I was gonna try something, but then I realized that's not how that works. I was gonna try this, but then we're gonna discard a skill 2 instead, and it won't work, and that sort of boring stuff. We could try this. It's not gonna work. We're gonna bleed a lot. We're goated? That was painful to watch. We were close to being goated because we had 3 insights, so we would have been fine in that fight. Should probably keep on going to turn 2 in a couple of these fights. Yeah. We should give it a shot. Yeah. Why not? See how well this turn looks. Need to stop just spamming resets. It's numbing my brain a little bit. Brain turns to metal. Ends begin. Ends begins. Ends. Sort of deal. You know. How it usually go. That's a lot of bleed, though. Well, we got a lot of blunt damage up this turn, at least. So... that's something. It's something. Maybe we'll be fine. Who knows? Not looking like it, though. Okay, we just gotta... Nope. Maybe it'll be fine as we're actively bleeding out. Yeah, no. It wasn't looking fine anyways, so I'm not shocked. Surprised how, like, I really just got super lucky these previous 2 fights. I also think the selection of Kurokumo grunts probably wasn't as bad those previous 2 attempts. Like, this is one where we've got, you know, 3 of the tired ones, and those seem to be the real assholes with how much bleed count they can inflict. Just inflicting basically, like, 4 or 3 bleed count almost guaranteed, it seems. And the tense ones are just, like, a decent bit of potency. They've got sometimes scary potency ones, but, like... I don't like that vibe. I'm just sensing, you know, the mood of this fight, and I'm determining it needs a reset. I don't know at what point on the time in this video I actually started this fight, but at this rate, it might genuinely take longer than the very first fight, which will be really funny if so. I'm just not getting a good hand. I have not gotten a good hand in forever. I just haven't gotten a good hand in this entire attempt. Like, how many times has it been? Surely at least at one point I'd get a starting hand with a skill 3 and, like, a skill 2. Or just a skill 3 in the top slot. Just statistically speaking, it feels like there's something weird going on behind the scenes, but that might just be me, like, theorizing. We'll try this, though. This looks like it could work decently. Good bit of block. Good bit of bleed, too, though, yeah. Not too much count, though, yeah, that's okay. This could be doable. It's still 90 HP worth of bleed. Don't get me wrong. I'm underestimating it a little bit, but that's fine. If we try this, we've got good speed this turn, so... should we do it like this? I should do it like this. Yeah. Thanks, good, because this will go first, because it's flashing. Yeah, we're out of bleed, and we didn't get staggered there, and we're at 3 insight now, so that's good. Some of these attacks might be a little bit rough. Okay, we're fine. Can we do this, though? Maybe, actually. We're taking a fair bit of hits, and we're not getting any shield, no. It's not looking like this is the successful attempt. Especially if we're gonna lose clashes like that, jeez. Yeah, no. Oh, well, we were close to greatness, but once again, that wasn't a good turn 1. That was like that was a 2 skill 2 turn 1. No skill 3s in the starting dashboard. It was just kind of getting a decently lucky with how that went. We just get the 3 insight turn 1, and we don't have to worry about bleed the entire fight. This is so close. You're almost understanding what I'm trying to get you to do. Okay, this actually is a pretty easy first turn, though. So I'll still run with it. We should be set. Potentially. Assuming we don't get staggered next turn, we'll be fine. We'll take some bleed, but not a lot. And then we just do this, and we're fine. These evasions are a little rude, but that's fine. We're at 3 insight now. We're taking some damage, of course. Might try throwing in like a rhyme shake or something this fight. Just for the sake of doing some damage to these nuisances, right? Because if we do like a... actually, this might be better. Yeah, that's actually a really solid like set of actions to perform. Because this will discard a skill 1, bring us to 1 insight, which will be bad for a little bit, but then we'll do this and we'll get to 3 insight and it'll be better. Yeah, sure. We'll get a good bit of shield from that. All that matters is that we have enough insight at the end of the turn, right? Even if it means our skill 1 will have a little bit less coin power, because it'll have 2 less coin power, which is a pretty notable difference, but still, it's worth it for the little bit extra shield we get by playing this turn like this. And it's probably worth it at least. It might not be. Wouldn't be surprised. But there we go. This is the time that we win. This is our victory. My ultimate victory. Glad to see it. And we can just do this, yeah. I know I'm not focusing on building up Sloth, I'm still discarding skill 3s, and that's because, like... I'd rather win this fight after the 20 minutes or so of attempts. It wasn't 20 minutes, it was like 10-15-ish, I think. Still feels like a fair bit, though. Nice job, idiot. And yeah, we'll go for the Sloth skills here, so we at least start with one next fight. Which will be something, if so. It's nice to start with it. Grand Welcome is probably the best possible... If we get Grand Welcome, we get Pursuance. Like, that's the thing. Grand Welcome gives us a good amount of pride to start out with. Enough pride to at least get a single Pursuance in, I think, which should be healing. Which will probably be super news for the campfight. There's a couple things that could be really good for us. Mainly things for survival, though. So, like, we won't have any form of healing, because we can't stagger him more than, like, a couple of times. So if we can get something for resources in this shop, that'd be optimal. I also don't think there's any EU gifts that'll particularly help us. We've got the Black Ledger, which for once is, like, the most helpful thing for us. This does, like, nothing for us. Like, wow, slash resist. 50-50 Ishmael. Cool job. Now it doesn't even affect him because he's already weak to slash. Like, okay, well, we've got 400 cost here. Do we heal up Rodion? Probably. It'll cost a fair bit, but let's see. What else do we look at here? Nothing else noteworthy. Oh, we get a Rodion skill change. Absolutely. Skill 2 to skill 3, as I said before. Helps a lot. Heal Sinner. Selected Sinner heals. We'll heal you to max. Just to make sure that you survive as best as possible. And that's all we can do unless we sell something. Oh, we can sell the Red Tassel. I didn't even think about that. Could also potentially sell Black Ledger, but I don't know. None of this helps us too much. One more reroll. Do we get anything good? No. Illusory Hunt, actually. That's a damage up. I'll take it. We're selling the Ledger, but we shouldn't need it. Damage up. 2 damage up in a focus encounter, because this is a focus encounter. Will help out a fair bit. Oh yeah, we can do stuff here. I completely forgot about that, but it doesn't matter. We've got Lithograph, we've got the Illusory Hunt for a little bit of a bonus, and we've changed your skills up so that you've got an additional skill 3 to make getting to that 3 insight a little easier. What does he resist? I know he's weak to Pride and Wrath, which we don't have any of, but he resists a lot of stuff too. Probably, like, yeah, Sloth Gloom, not great. We're not going to be able to break through this guy's shield, I don't think, or stuff like that. Which is a little bit rough. Well, let's see, do we deal Paralyzer? Probably. You're going to inflict a bunch of bleed, not that it matters too much. We're going to try going for this, though. This is optimal turn 1, anyways. Getting decent bit of shielding to discarding a skill 3. And he's going to dodge a little bit, which is rude. At least we land 2 of the coins there, though. We don't do too much damage. We do decent. And your bleed does nothing to us. Well, the issue is he's got a chance to outspeed us in these turns. And now we've got a 4 slash resist down. Yeah, so now we're weak to slash this turn. Not great. Not great. And we kind of just got to do this turn. No shield for us, which is a little rough. You're not going for Paralyzer, though, I don't think, so that's good. So we'll just try and clash the best we can with some of your stronger attacks. Clash or Slay, that'll be nice. Next turn's going to be your counter turn, though, so that's a little bit worrying. That's fine. Also, the fact that we're a sinking unit means that he's going to constantly lose sanity, which is not good for us. Really is not great. Yeah, weak to the slash now. We don't have any shield to protect us. We don't have any shield to shield us. Yeah, fair bit of damage. Don't like that. Because we're going to have to take the counter here. Okay, we can discard this, though. That'll be nice. Good to get overthrow. We can clash both Paralyzers if we want, and we really should. Yeah, hopefully we do actually win these. I don't really have the highest faith that we will. And you'll gain a fair bit of growing resentment because of that. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know how... I haven't, like, thought through this fight too much at all. I don't know how likely we are to actually win this. Wouldn't be surprised if the answer is not very, but we're going to do our best, right? Give it a couple attempts. This has already been, like, a pretty near-optimal first attempt, I think. Like, we've been doing great on the insight, stuff like that. We've got a lot of shield this turn. Our stagger resist is almost gone. It will be in a little bit, but we don't have a lot of HP, so... a little bit iffy. Okay, but yeah. This is the Claim Their Bones turn. Very scary. We've got some excruciating studies we can go with. Discard 2, discard 2. Okay. Pretty good, actually. We'll do it like this, then. I could look... because I'd really like to keep the 3 into the entire time. Because if we did something like this, we would get back to 2 insight eventually. Because I'll discard these 2, then discard these 2. But I don't want to have any downtime at insight 1, because that could really ruin us with the coin power. Do we even bother clashing it? I don't think so. I think we just kind of need to take the hit, but then he's going to do so much to us. No, oh, right, that's right. I keep on forgetting about this, but the actual growing resentment damage only works if his shield doesn't get depleted. So we just gotta really pray we deplete your shield, I guess? Otherwise we die instantly. Yeah, I don't know how likely this is looking, just in general. When we get all this stuff down, get a fair bit of shield. Hope for the best. He's got a fair bit of shield too, and you know, a very fair bit. But we do have a 50% blunt damage increase this turn. Unfortunately, this guy resists blunt and sloth, so even our skill 3 is not very great here. Also, we lose these. Cool. That's unfortunate. Would have been nice to do at least a little bit more damage here. I wish I could see how much shield he actually has, like, in a numerical value, because I'm curious how close we're getting. It's not very. It really is not very, yeah. And we don't have the most shield here, and he's gonna do... Yeah, he does 200 extra damage to us here, because he's got that much speed and break the shield. Okay, I'm not gonna play that through, because you know what was gonna happen. The third coin would have dealt 200 bonus damage, because it's 200 divided by 1, because there's only one center in the team. I'll give it another shot, though. We might need to just conserve skill 3s for that turn, and just use, like, if we can use, like, 4 of them that turn, maybe we'd be fine. Ooh, not a good starting hand. We kind of really need to start with a skill 3. At least one of them, because that 3 instead is going to be necessary. He stacks up a lot of bleed. I guess first turn he's only getting, like, bleed count off and stuff, but I'd still rather that didn't happen. Maybe it could be worth trying, like, a worse starting hand. Yeah, well, we'll give it a shot. We might beat the Paralyzer. No. No, we actually can't. We physically can't beat Paralyzer with skill 1, so we need to start with, like, a skill 2, skill 3 to stop with that. Because if we like, get hit by Paralyzer, then, well, we'll be paralyzed, as the name implies. I want to give this at least a couple good tries, because, like, very well could be possible. Maybe not like this team in particular. Okay, we're just going to excruciating study this, I think. It'll be worth it. Really, to start with 2 skill 3s, but chances of that happening aren't great. We got really lucky that first time around. We're not at 3 insight. You take a lot of bleed. You're not doing any potency to us this turn, though. Only 3 potency, actually. Only. I mean, there was a little bit more potency there. But, like, that's not a deathly amount, right? Who's counting? What's the plan, then? Are we gonna block to get rid of this? Wanna block something? Don't like the overthrow either. We can ego. We can ego. That is true. We've got this Rhyme Shank for a reason, and this actually would kill us because we get rid of it. It costs 5 gloom, which we don't have right now. Okay, restart this. Flip it. Flip it quick. Alright. No. Thank you. Funny how we're more likely to get skill 2s than skill 3s in our deck. Or no, we're more likely to get skill 3s than skill 2s in this deck, but we're still going to get skill 2s more often than we got skill 3s in that previous fight. I'm knowing my luck. That's fine. I think it was crazy to get rid of, this... I am kind of thinking that a skill 1 to skill 3 probably would have been smarter than skill 2 to skill 3 here, simply because we need to actually deal damage and stuff, but it's kind of too late to back out of my choices, unfortunately. As much as I would love to back out of them. As long as corpuscle remains, life will be preserved, somehow. Keyword is somehow. Okay, there we go. Perfect-ish starting turn. We discard a skill 3. We use this instead of a skill 3, but that's still good enough. It's actually probably better, because that means there's another skill 3 in the deck, like, waiting to be used. Right? Oh yeah, and you're gonna do your dodging stuff, which is rude. I guess it does mean you don't get as much sinking, but then you took the 5 potency from the final hit anyways, so it doesn't matter. That's fine. Now we just gotta focus on saving skill 3s a little bit. I mean, but then they give me turns like this, and, like, what am I gonna do? Like, of course I'm gonna use this skill 3, and I'm gonna regret it later, but it'll work decently enough. Right? Let's do the damage we can. Next turn we save skill 3s. I think that's the play. Love being dodged. Our damage output is abysmal. That's fine. People have soloed this fight with worse IDs, I'm sure. Although they probably had better builds or things. They probably didn't solo the entire dungeon with them. And I'm sure people have. No reason to be so, like, such a negative Nancy about that sort of thing. Oh, we don't get shield this turn, that's fine. Way to acknowledge that, sure. Do that. Do that. Don't let those go through. We take a slay, take a crossword. We won't have any shield this turn. But that'll be fine, surely. How are we doing on sloth, by the way? I'd really like to get that to that 4 sloth, but I don't know how likely that is to actually happen. A little bit of bleed damage too, that's fine. Okay, nice. Every time you use a skill 2, you do lose 5 sand effect because of the sinking, which isn't the best. And slash resist the next turn down. Oof. Okay, this is a lot of these though. That's good. Start out with you on like the sleigh, and then we do this. We do this. We do this actually, yeah. Should I rhyme shank this? His sandy's gonna go down so much if I rhyme shank him. And I don't know if the damage increases. I don't even know if it is a damage increase. It's still gloom and blunt. If I'm being blunt. Oh, did we purge the... Did we not purge that? I don't know why we didn't. Okay, that's fine though. We can just do over this pretty safely. They had 3 insight at the end. What am I doing? No, that's not 3 insight. That's how we lose all insight immediately. Okay. That was a little bit of a sketchy move on my part by not, blocking there. But maybe it'll work out. I think I probably meant to actually block with the entire bottom row. Okay, we broke the shield though. Okay. This will do damage, a lot of damage. And we do get staggered. But you didn't do the extra damage. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, don't know if I can do better than that. I might be able to. If I kept on resetting, it could happen eventually. I'm not the biggest fan of giving up in these type of runs, but often that kind of is the way it has to go, right? Oh well, that's alright. Some days you win, some days you lose. We can make up for it by doing some daily extractions, Yippee, yippee! I mean, it was nice that we got that far, though. It really wasn't that hard to fathom. Oh, and we get a 2-star at least. How quaint. Oh, and it's Star Saying. It's a fun unit. Fair enough. Yeah, unfortunately, we just do not have... If I had better Eagle Gift, that could have also made the difference. Very well could have, or if I had gone for a skill 1 to skill 3 instead, that could have made the difference. Oh, another 2-star. It's going to be Gregor, isn't it? Oh. That wasn't the Gregor I was expecting, but I mean, I guess I didn't specify which Gregor I was expecting, so my wording still seemed accurate. But yeah, try as we may, we, in the end, fathomed the fathoms fairly fathomably. Lost to Kim, but that's to be expected. Who knows? Maybe I could have kept on trying, but I don't know. That's not really my style. Anyways, that'll be all for this time. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!